Hey, this is Chris, and in this video, we're going to talk about how to enroll in Medicare Part B if you're someone who has worked past age 65 and you've done things right. You've had an employer with 20 or more employees, and you've had group coverage with them, or perhaps you're active military with TRICARE. And so for those reasons, you've been able to delay enrolling in Medicare Part B, but now you're thinking about retirement. It's time to retire. How do you get enrolled? In this video, we'll go over the 2 forms that you need to have completed and returned to Social Security. We'll address your spouse if you have a spouse and they are also on your group coverage, what to do there. We'll talk about the time frame you have to get all of this done. And last, we'll address COBRA and how COBRA will not allow you to delay Medicare Part B. You need to get it done, so stay tuned. All right, so to get started, you're going to need 2 forms. The first is the CMS L564. This form, I know the IRS and their form names. Don't let that intimidate you. I've got the link down below. It's also on my website. This is what it looks like. It's basically a 1-page form. You're going to fill out this part up here, but then this form is for your employer. Down here, your employer is going to testify that you have had group health coverage since turning 65. As long as you don't have a gap of more than 8 months without coverage, you can have a special enrollment period and sign up for Part B with no penalty. But you'll need this form to show the government that you did have coverage. So get your employer to fill this out and get it back to you. Obviously, you can hand deliver it and they can write it, or you can email them the form and ask them to send it back to you as a PDF. That's my recommendation. However you want to do that, get this form back. And then the second form is going to be the CMS 40B. Okay, this form is even simpler. This is it. This is all that's involved. And so fill this out, and then down here under remarks, you can write in the date that you want your Part B to start, okay? And they'll accommodate you on that. And what you're going to do is get this form and the form from your employer, those 2 forms, put them together. You can fax it to Social Security, you can hand deliver it, you can mail it. But there's a third option that's pretty awesome, which is there is now a way to enroll online using a web form. So instead of using that 40B form, this link will also be down below. You can go and click on I agree, start the application. It'll take you to this page that asks you about, make sure that your browser is right. Click on open a new tab. And then if you've ever used a DocuSign, it's kind of similar, but you can click start. You'll fill all of this stuff out. Down here under remarks, this is where you put your desired coverage date. You'll put your employer information here. And then here at the end, you've got a place to attach the document, the CMS L564, the one that you had your employer fill out. You can click here and attach that PDF and sign and send it off, and you're good to go. Okay, so that's the online form for signing up. Now, what if your spouse is part of your group coverage? You're basically going to need to do this twice. You'll need to have your employer fill out a 564 for you and for your spouse. So 2 different forms, and then you'll both need to do the 40B or the web form, and you'll send them off each with your respective 564 form, proving that you did have coverage up until this point. And that's basically it on the spouse side of things. When to get enrolled, I recommend that you go ahead and get this rolling a few months before you actually retire, and then you can set your effective dates and just make sure there's no gaps in your coverage. Now, for some of you, you may not want your employer to know that you're about to retire. In that case, no sweat. The month that you enroll in Medicare Part B, you can set your effective date for the first of that month or have it start the first of the next month. So you'll be fine. You'll just have to kind of move a little more quickly there, but that works too. Once you leave your group coverage, though, you have an 8-month window. So if you've already left your company and you've been without coverage, you have 8 months for starting the month after your coverage ends. So if it ends in April, starting in May, I've got 8 months to get enrolled in Medicare Part B as part of that special enrollment period. Again, if you enroll in month 1, it can start on the first of that month. If you enroll in any of the months later, it's going to start the first of the next month from when you enroll. So just know that. Something else that comes up is the issue of COBRA. Some folks really get messed up because they think because they're on COBRA, they're good, but you're not good. COBRA does not count as coverage for Social Security and Medicare. So Your coverage ends when your employment ends, not when COBRA ends. Okay, so if you've been hanging on COBRA and have delayed getting on Medicare Part B, get on it. You have an 8-month window to get it done without penalty. Okay, so that's super important. So, in closing, get those 2 forms, get them back to Social Security, and you're good to go. If you've got your spouse, you both send in forms, and you got that 8-month window to get it all done. And then once you've got that, just remember, Medicare Part B is an 80-20 plan essentially from the government. It's some of the best insurance you can get ever, but you do have that 20% gap, and you've got your hospital deductible for Part A. And so it's important to add a Medicare supplement, potentially an Advantage plan. I generally instruct people more towards the supplement side of things. But reach out to us. We'd love to walk with you and help you and help make sure that you're getting just the right plan, the right prescription drug plan, all of that stuff for your needs. So we love doing these videos. We love walking with people and helping them, so reach out.